guys, what is up? Welcome back. This is Ashlee from the future. The video that you're about to see, I filmed absolutely months ago, way before I got married. I got married on the 25th of October 2019, and I just never got around to uploading this video. So it was a laugh, and I still really wanted to upload it for you guys, but rest assured, everything worked out really well. I managed to find another makeup artist up the Central Coast who did a phenomenal job on all of the girls. I ended up doing my own makeup on the day. This is actually the makeup that I wore on the day, which I have done a video on. If it is up before this one, I'll leave a link up in the cards. If not, it will be soon after this video anyway. But I want to just put this little prelude in so you guys know that everything's fine and everything worked out. I'm sorry this video never got up before the wedding, but things just got like so hectic last year that I just really sucked at uploading. So this year I'm trying to be different, trying to get in the swing of things, have some videos for you guys to watch and enjoy, but I thought that this one was still a little bit of fun and wanted to get it up for you guys nevertheless. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's rewind back before the wedding and see what past Ashlee was stressing about. Bye! Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to sit down with you and we're just going to put on some makeup. I'm gonna chit chat with you, catch you up with everything that is going on at the moment. For those who don't know, I am getting married in October, so things are starting to happen and it's all getting very real and a little bit stressful, if I do say so. So I had my first kind of, I don't want to say bridezilla, but my first kind of like freak out moment. So I wanted to sit down and share that with you guys, get some advice from anyone who's been in a similar situation, not only if you are getting married or married, just anyone who's been in a situation where you're looking at a makeup and hair trial that didn't really go so well. Yeah, your advice would be greatly appreciated. So if you want to hear all about my horror makeup and hair trial, then just keep watching. Okay, so we are going to be applying some makeup while I catch you up to date with what has been going on. So I'm just going to start off with my base so we can kind of get that started before we dive into the story. Priming today, I'm going to be using two primers because I'm a bit extra. I'm going in with the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer and also the Becca, I think this is what is this called? Becca Resurfacing Primer. So I'm just going to apply that all over my face. For foundation today, I'm going to go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is the shade 1N0 Porcelain. It is a fantastic foundation, and I'm really thinking about using this for my wedding day because I'm probably not going to be having this particular place do my makeup anymore. So, I just got back from a European holiday about 2 weeks ago. Before our holiday, I was researching and looking into makeup artists and hair salons around where we are getting married, and I've kind of found a few, and I settled down on this one place. I was scrolling through their Instagram feed and they all look really good. All their pictures that they have advertising, like come get your hair and makeup done by us for weddings and formal events or whatever. The pictures all look so beautiful, really natural, nothing too heavy. At that stage I was still tossing up whether or not I was going to do my makeup myself, but I knew I didn't really want to do everyone else's makeup. So I have including myself, there's 6 of us, and then one more for my mum who wants to get her makeup done. So I didn't really want to be doing like 7 lots of makeup on the wedding day. So I kind of reached out to this place who, like I said, their Instagram looked amazing, reviews online were all really positive. So I was like, you know what, let's give them a go. So I booked in with them and we booked in our hair and makeup trial to happen like a week ago. So it was last Thursday now. So we booked in to go see them before I went away, which was for a month. So this was back in like May probably even before May, maybe April, May. So I'd already booked with them when I was going to come in and have my trial done. I'd paid my deposit to obviously secure the date for the wedding, and yeah, everything was looking good. It was going, like, everything seemed fine. When I get back from my holiday, I obviously know that the trial is coming up. So I'm wanting to kind of have a chat to the girls and kind of look in to see what style of makeup that I want to go for obviously wedding day, and what my hair is going to look like. I'm obviously going through Pinterest and showing them like makeup looks that I think would look really good with the dress that we've got. The dresses that we're going for with the bridesmaids is like a grey dove kind of colour. It's a really beautiful like neutral grey. So I think it's going to look really beautiful with everyone. While we were looking, I was like, you know what, let's just look back on their Instagram feed, and so I'd obviously found looks on there that I thought were really good, and I'll just see if I can like screenshot a few of the looks that they've already done so I can take that with them and be like, you know, this is kind of what we're looking at. I'm scrolling through and I'm finding the looks that I like, and I'm like, these are all really beautiful. And then I started to open up the captions and have a look, and then everything that I'm seeing, it says hair by so-and-so studio, hair by so-and-so studio. I can't see anywhere where the pictures that I've liked have the image saying makeup by the studio. So I was starting to get a bit like, okay. But the image itself, like on the caption, says, inquire today about hair and makeup at such and such studio, but then obviously scroll down, it says hair by, like picture, hair by the studio. So again, like it just says nothing about the makeup. So I am getting a bit like, that's a bit odd. So I end up keep scrolling, and I find one picture that's pretty far away, and the bridesmaids, I mean, from the picture they look alright, but it is a really far away image. It says hair by the studio, and then it says makeup by, and it has the makeup artist's name, but they use a joint account with the salon, so it has their name but underscore then the salon's name, so it's kind of like promoting the salon as well through her work. So I was like, oh cool, finally found the makeup artist, and her name is what I've been, when I've been emailing with the director of the salon, it's the name of the makeup artist that she said would be working with us on the night. So I open up her Instagram page and I literally almost die. I almost die. I'm going to go in with my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. This is in the shade NC15. I'm just going to pump a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in and conceal. So I look at her Instagram page, which like I said is linked to the salon's page, and it's terrible. It's just so overdone, just not really complimentary colours for wedding pictures, which I know sometimes it can be what the person's requested. But that even being said, the actual application of it, it looks cakey, super heavy, unblended, just really, really, I don't want to, sounds really amateurish. Like it looks really amateurish and just not what you want to look like on your wedding day. I'm talking like chunky, like square shaped brows, lashes which are like up to the sky high, like just cheap, nasty looking. Like that's just all I can explain it as. Bronzer, like so overdone, really patchy, unblended. The eye looks just, oh my gosh, just so terrible, so unblended, so patchy, and just like not what you're expecting to be paying like almost $100 for. Like if you're paying $100 for this service, like you want it to look good. You don't want it to look like how it was looking. Anyway, I am at this stage when I realize that this is her work, and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, they're recent pictures. Like they're not just like years ago and she's maybe gotten really better. Like they are like literally like this year pictures. I am, as you can imagine, freaking out. Now, I am by no means a makeup artist. I do not see myself as a makeup artist. I see myself as a makeup enthusiast and a makeup lover, but in no means a makeup artist. So, but even I can tell from this that this is just not what I'm wanting and not what I would be wanting to pay that money for. I'm gonna go in and set that with my new, this is the, oh gosh, it's so dirty. This is the Fenty Pro Filter powder in the shade, Butter. So I've actually really been loving this powder. I think it is pretty good, especially if you have oily skin. I'm loving it at the moment. I've been using it every day since I got it, and my makeup has been lasting like so well. So I've just dipped a bit of that into the lid, and I'm just going to press that into the skin with my beauty blender. So after seeing the makeup that she's done, I am obviously stressing out. I start texting my two bridesmaids, which are coming out with me for the trial, like absolutely freaking out, being like, this is terrible. Like I cannot, like I knew from that moment that I would definitely be, if we went with her, like I would definitely be doing my own makeup, but I didn't want my, like, you know, like, I know everyone says it's about you and your day or whatever, but like I don't want my bridesmaids like looking like shit. Like one of the pictures, the girl is like a completely wrong color. Like her chest is pale, and I know because I'm really pale and a few of my friends are pale as well. Like I'm pale and she cannot match the foundation. Like, this girl is orange, and how awful to like be wearing like a dress with like a white chest and like an orange face. I like, you know what, I was like, if you're a makeup artist, you should be able to match people correctly. Anyway, so I'm freaking out and I'm really worried, and the girls are like, you know what, we're gonna go up there anyway, like we're not cancelling, we need to at least get the hair done, so just don't worry about it, if we'll just, you know, just wait and see, basically. Which I know is totally, you know, sound advice, because, you know, you never know, and it could have just been a bad day, although the makeup was so terrible, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. When I booked in, the salon is completely booked out every single Saturday up until when my wedding is. So I needed to go up on a Thursday night. Bear in mind that I live about an hour and a half drive away from where I'm getting married. So the salon that we're going with, who are going to travel to where we're staying and getting ready for the day, but their salon that we're going to for the trial is 2 hours away pretty much. So we have to leave after work, so it's like 4:30, and we're driving up the highway to their salon. I'm just going to go in with my Shade and Light contour palette. I'm just going to be taking this shade here to contour with, and I'm using a Morphe R19 brush. So we drive up there, and we get there a little bit late, maybe 15 minutes late, because we realize like we have to stop and get some food, because otherwise the appointment's meant to go till 9:30, and we're not going to like eat until 9:30 otherwise. So we just stopped in on the highway and got some Maccas. I had to fill up some petrol. So we're about 15 minutes late to the appointment, which I know isn't a good start, but it is what it is. Couldn't be helped. Girl has got to eat. We get there and the salon is packed. Like, it's so busy, and it's a really nice looking salon as well. Like, really modern, really stylish, if I say, like lots of white greenery, like wood, just really boho vibe, which I absolutely love, and I was getting really good vibes from. Like, it looked beautiful when we came in. We're obviously introduced, and the lady comes over and basically says she's a makeup artist and she'll be doing our makeup today. She said that the lady who's doing the hair, which is the owner of the salon, she's just finishing off with another client, so she'll be over shortly. Asked us obviously if we wanted anything to drink, tea, coffee. She had some wine as well if we wanted to kind of have a sneaky wine. We just stuck with teas, and basically she started with me. So I go over to the makeup chair, which is kind of situated on the other side of the salon to where like the hair and things get done. So the makeup station's like here, and then you kind of sit here. So she's looking at a mirror and you are just facing out towards like where everyone else is getting their hair done. So you can't see what's going on like at all. Which I think for a trial, I don't know, I've never been to like a makeup trial before, but I think that's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like the client wants to be able to see, well, I myself like want to be able to see what you're doing, so we can kind of adjust it as we go, because she doesn't already know what style we want. Like, and I feel like she could basically like explain things to me as she's going, why she's doing it. Like, that's what I would do if I was doing someone else's makeup. Like, I would try to have a mirror in front of them so they can see exactly what I'm doing, and if there's anything they want changed or less or more of, then we can do it right then, rather than waiting for like look to like be finished. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Anyway, moving on. I'm just going to lightly bronze up using that middle shade as well, because I keep looking at myself and I'm so ghostly white. So I'm just going to add a little bit of colour. We probably will come back and bronze up a little bit more, but just at the moment. So I am sitting down in the chair, and she basically says like, what kind of look are you after? And at this stage I had some pictures which I had obviously pinned on, you know, Pinterest and saved on my Instagram page and things, and I'll insert some pictures here of what I had shown her. So basically I was after really natural, bronzy, smoky eye, a nice, like a pretty shimmery lid, just a smoked out, like smoldering kind of look, natural, nothing too like overly warm or anything like that, just a nice bronzy definition, basically with a champagne shimmery lid, just something natural, you know, natural. Okay, sorry, I just went and contoured my nose, and we're just baking for a minute, so I look a bit crazy. That is why. I'm going to go in with a little bit of blush. This is the Party blush from Tarte, and I'm just going to apply that to my cheeks using, this is a Sigma F40 brush, so I'm just going to apply that to my cheeks just so the face is pretty much done. I'm just going to slightly fill in my brows. We'll come back to them a little bit later, but just so they're not just like non-existent while I do my eyes. This is the Essence Make Me Brow Like Brow Mascara, so I'm just going to run a little bit of that through my brows just to give them a little bit of colour while we move on to the eyes. So anyway, I'm sitting at the table and she's obviously asking me what I want. Like I said, show her the pictures, and she's like, okay, no problem. Let's like, so she goes to start and she says, what's your skin type? And I said, obviously, I said that I have really oily skin. I have a hard time making like makeup last, like large pores. So that's my kind of concern, that when I do my makeup, I really need to like set it down. So apply foundation, concealer, and then set it so it doesn't go anywhere. Otherwise I am an oily mess by the end of the day. So she goes in and starts prepping my skin, and I've just told her obviously that I have really oily skin, and so obviously that implies that you would need something that's mattifying, like a mattifying primer or something like that. She pulls out a product which I'm not sure that it was Strobe Cream, but I just had a quick check on the MAC website and nothing else resembles the same look of the bottle. I'll put a picture of the bottle here. If anyone knows if there's any other MAC products, prep products that look like that I could have been mistaken with, please let me know. But from my understanding, that is the only thing that I can see on the MAC website that looks like that. So she starts using the Strobe Cream on my face, and I'm just like sitting there like, what the hell are you doing? I've just said that I have super oily skin. The last thing I want is a strobe, like illuminating cream all over my face. Like that's the last thing I want. But I sit there and I just kind of like roll with it. For the eyes, I'm going to take out the Huda Beauty palette. I haven't used this one in ages, so I'm just going to do something really soft and neutral today. Nothing too crazy. So she goes in and she's looking at the foundations, and she has MAC Studio Fix Fluid, which is an alright foundation. I have tested it out on my skin because I did buy it because I heard Nikia Joy talking about the fact that it's a really good foundation for oily skin types, especially for important events such as wedding. So I went out and purchased it. I did purchase a shade that was a little bit too pink for me, but I do have tested it out, and I don't think it's as good as the Estee Lauder Double Wear in my opinion. I feel like it settles really badly into my fine lines, and especially my like lines in my forehead and in between my eyebrows. So for me, I've decided that I definitely won't be using that foundation on my wedding day, that I will be going, and then I will be going with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And I said that to her. I said, you know, I've tried the Studio Fix Fluid and I just don't think it's for me. Explained the line settling thing, and she said, yeah, that's not a problem. If there's something else that you like on the day, we can use something else. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. But in saying that, when I looked at the kit that she had, which I think was everything that she had out, she had it all laid out, obviously. Like, she didn't know what our skin types were, skin tones, before we arrived. So she has 4 bottles of foundation laid up on her makeup counter. 4 bottles of foundation. There's no foundation anywhere else. I don't know whether she has more at the back, but there's no other selections of foundation. Same with concealer. I can see on her table she has one color of concealer. So I'm instantly just like, because I'm really fair and I am very, like, I need a pale foundation, and the ones that she had on her table, I was like, none of them are going to match me. And she's saying, you know, you're going to have a fake tan on the day, and I was basically just saying like, I don't know yet. I think I will, but it's not going to be anything that's going to make me like 3 or 4 shades darker. Like, it's going to just be myself, but like a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more bronzed. Nothing crazy though. So she starts applying the foundation, which I know is, for starters, way too dark. But what I'm looking at is that the foundation brush that she's using isn't clean. I looked at it when she was applying, and I'm like, oh my god, it is like the bristles are like with like old cakey foundation, and I'm literally like yuck. Like, how long has that foundation been sitting in that brush for? And while she's applying it, like while I see her kind of going back over to her stuff and like looking at the picture again, I look down and all of the eye brushes are dirty. Like, if you have decided that you're not going to wash your brushes for like 2 months, and every day you've used them, kind of build up, like nasty build up. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh my god, how many faces has this foundation brush been on? And I am thinking I'm going to end up with like the biggest, gnarliest zit on my face after this, because that is so unhygienic. Every brush should be completely clean when you're going and using it on another person's face. Like, I even know that, and I don't even do people's makeup for a living. Like, that's just common sense, really. So I'm sitting there trying to mask my horror as best as I can. After she applied the foundation, she goes into my face and starts going like this, and like smoothing and tapping over my nose with her fingers. And I'm just like, that's because your makeup brush is bloody caked with so much old foundation, so it's not like blending in nicely at all. So I assume I would have had like gross streaks, patchiness going on because of the manky foundation brush she used. Anyway, onto the eyes. She goes to start doing my eyes, and she did apply the foundation over my eyelids. It's not set at all, which is fine, but there's no kind of base work really prepped. So it's just the foundation on the eyelids, a very light layer of foundation, might I add. So then she goes on and starts to do my eyes with the manky, dirty eye brushes, which is sitting next to me, which I'm just like, about. Anyway, so I see on her desk that she has the Jaclyn Hill original palette, which she did with Morphe, which is a great palette, and I could totally see someone using that for a bridal look. Lots of neutral colours, lots of beautiful deepening up colours. I didn't think it was a bad palette to pick to use from the pictures that I've shown. So I was like, okay, maybe this is salvageable, like let's just see. The first colour I see her dip into is like Jack's, or some really, really overly warm reddy brown, which is not the colour that I wanted. Like, I'm all for a really warm cut crease. You guys know that that's my jam. I love a good, really like warm, fiery cut creased color. I'm all for it. I love it, but not for my wedding day. Like, I don't want to have red in my crease for my wedding day. So she is tapping in this red shade into my crease, which I'm just like, oh my god, this is like way too warm. This is not like the pictures that whoa, that came off really pigmented. It's not the picture that I showed like at all. So I feel her starting to do that, and the pressure that she's using, I don't know. I know if you apply like your own makeup, you know the pressure and you know what the feeling should be to like blending. It's like this, like barely touching my lid. And I'm like, that's not doing anything, love. Like, that's not blending anything out. I know the color that you've put in my crease, and that's not going to be doing anything. So I know already that it's going to be patchy. She asked me to open my eyes, and she's like, oh my gosh, you have like the best eyes for makeup. Like, they're such a great shape. And I'm like, yeah, but you're like butchering it. And I hear everyone saying like, oh, it looks so good. And I'm literally sitting there like, fuck off. I like can tell this looks horrible. So she's looking back at the pictures, and I'm looking back at those dirty manky brushes, and I'm like, oh, yuck. So when I showed her the photos, some of them did have like a liquid liner. Oh, by this stage she's gone in and applied my lid shade as well, which was fine. She used a brush for that. I was like, okay, yep, I mean, it feels fine the way she applied it. That's fine. So she goes in now, and I told her at the beginning that I didn't want anything super harsh along the lash line. Like, I didn't want winged eyeliner. I didn't want black liner on the upper lash lines, like at all. I said I want a slight definition there, something like a smoky brown or something to define the lash line, but I did not want any liquid liner. I just think it's too harsh. I think it's too harsh and not what I want. I don't wear a lot of liquid liner in the first place, so I just knew that I didn't want that for my wedding. So like, I want something a bit more soft and smoky rather than structured like a wing liner or something like that. So what do I see her starting to get out? A winged liner, but it's a winged liner felt tip pen. It's just disgusting. Like, however many people she's used that felt tip liner on the lash line, where your lashes have so much bacteria on them, so it's just disgusting to use that. So I'm sitting there and I could feel her applying. She's like, okay, well, you look this way, look that way. And I feel her getting like so close to my inner corner, and she's like poking it in there. So of course my eye like blinks, and then I feel it just go like, I just feel a huge glob like just go right into like this inner tear duct. And she's like, oh, okay. And she gets a Q-tip and she starts rubbing it away, and she's like in my eyeball, like rubbing away this glob that's like come in there. So I've had like the felt tip pretty much in my bloody eyeball, which is disgusting, because I mean, imagine how many times this wing liner tip has been in other people's eyeballs. So I'm sitting there again. So she comes in and she's buffing everything away, and she starts pulling out these lashes. And the lashes that I see are like, they're from Morphe, which is fine. Morphe lashes are here. I've never used them myself, but I don't know how good they are or not good. I wouldn't know. But I look at them and they're like plastic, like lashes. They've got no wispiness into them. They're not fluffy and like whimsical. They're like plastic, like sticks. Like the most unflattering, cheapest looking, nastiest looking lashes that I've ever seen in my entire life. So when I see the lashes, she shows me that I'm a bit like, oh, I like don't know like if they're really the lashes that I would really pick. And she says, yep, I understand completely. I just didn't have enough time to go out and grab some different lashes before your appointment. You didn't have enough time to go to the shops and buy some better lashes when I booked this appointment like a month before, and it was even before my holiday. So like 2 months maybe even before this appointment, and you're telling me that you didn't have enough time to pop to bloody Kohl's or Priceline and pick up even just a pair of like Ardell Demi Wispies? Are you kidding me? Like, that is just such a lame excuse to me. And I'm sorry, like I'm paying I ended up having to pay like $95 for this bloody makeup, and I'm walking out with these lashes that look like spider legs on me. Like I just think that was just a really poor excuse. Like, no. The sucker that I am, I'm sitting there and she's applying these lashes to my eyes, and yeah, and you hear me right, she hasn't applied any mascara onto my natural lashes yet. So my natural lashes are obviously, you know, kind of blondish. Like they're not black. They're not like the color of lashes. Like you need to apply some kind of mascara on them to make sure they blend in with the lashes, right? Like that's what you have to do. She hasn't done that. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe she'll apply some mascara on afterwards, because some people do that. They apply mascara in to kind of blend them in with the lashes. So I kind of didn't really say anything at that point either. Again, me not saying anything. Story of my life, because I'm such a little scaredy cat and didn't want to say anything to offend anyone. So I'm just sitting there hating life as she's doing this. So she applies the lashes and she applies the glue, and within like 2 seconds of applying the glue, she puts them on. I'm like, they haven't even had like a chance to get tacky yet. Like, so I can feel her like fumbling around because they're not sticking to my eye, obviously, because they haven't had enough time to kind of get tacky. And I feel it like sticking right in here. I'm like, I know as soon as I open my eye that lash is just gonna be, I'm just gonna be glued together. Like the glue is just like glue come down onto my lower lash line. So I'm sitting there and she's fanning my eyes. She's like, we'll just wait for that to dry. So she's sitting there getting fanned. And then she's like, okay, open. And I go to open my eye, and my like bottom eyelash and my top thing is like glued together. So I'm like, can't open it. So she gets in there with her fingers and is like prying my eyes open. Like, just, I can't even. So I know that the eyeliner is just like dripping into down here. I know it's a mess. Like I can just feel it. So she's getting Q-tips and she's wiping it away. And I was like, okay, just keep going. Like, can't, like, this is surely as bad as it's gonna get. Boy, was I wrong. Oh my god. Now, forgive me for the life of me, I can't remember what order this went in. She obviously went in and started to smoke out my lower lash line. I can't remember if she'd applied my concealer before or after this, but anyway, she's gone along the lower lash line, smoked it out, done whatever, using that awful red color along the lower lash line again. And in the pictures I said, like, you know, I don't want, you know, a black liner in the waterline. Like a nude liner in the waterline is kind of what I'm after. So I don't get that though. My lower waterline is looking like a smudgy, blacky, brown kind of color from the red in my crease, and the liquid liner, which is run into my lower waterline. So just, that's an image for you. I see her pull out the mascara and I'm like, okay, cool, mascara time. I need mascara. She comes over, pulls the mascara wand out, and just comes at me and starts applying it on my lower, asks me to look up, and she starts applying it out of the tube onto my lower lashes. And I'm sitting there just like, because I know that I'm going to leave there with some eye disease. So she's applying the mascara to my lower lash lines, and the way she's applying it is just like, doop, 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 doop. It kind of ends up looking a bit like Twiggy. You know, just those clumps. That's what it ended up looking like. So I'm going in and doing my brows. I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Taupe. I'm just using it on a Zoeva. This is a winged liner brush. So she hasn't set my foundation. So she's going in on, I guess it's semi-dry, but still kind of tacky. And she starts applying my contour or bronzer or whatever. And she starts applying it, like, she grabs it and she starts going, and I see it's contour. I'm like, why are you applying bronzer? Like, it's not even bronzer. Like, it's like a shadowing. It's a shadowing like product. Like, it's a contour, and she's applying it up here, like up along my cheekbones. I was like, why would you want to contour my cheekbones? Like, that's what you want to be standing out. You should be contouring under them here. So I'm sitting there. I was like, what is she doing? She's bringing it up here, and I can tell that, like, she's just tapping it on. I'm like, this isn't really going to be blended out at all. She comes down here, she dips right into the product again, like dipping into the product, and then she goes right along here, just like that. I'm like, great, I'm going to end up with, like, this weird beard. Like, what is she doing? So after she's done some weird bronzering and contouring, she goes in and goes to highlight. She picks up MAC's Soft and Gentle, which I love. I love Soft and Gentle. I use it pretty much as my everyday highlighter. I love it. I think it's an absolutely great product. And I was happy that I saw that there. Like, I was like, yeah, that's a really pretty highlighter. She failed by using a brush like this as the highlighter. So she goes in and she swirls into MAC Soft and Gentle, and she starts just going like this along my with this huge ass brush. And keeping in mind that I said I have really oily skin, she grabs it and goes and puts the highlight right in the middle of my forehead. Like, if you have oily skin, the last thing you want is any highlight anywhere near the middle of your forehead, because you know that is just where all of your oil is. You don't want to have any more shine on that area. Like, that is just a no-go zone if you are oily for highlight anyway. Also, keeping in mind that the brush is not clean, so it's got like piles and piles of this highlighter in it. It's just terrible. So at this stage, I know that the skin is basically fucked as well. Like, I just know that the skin is looking like a hot mess, pretty much exactly the same as the eyes are looking. Okay, that is as good as the brows I'm going to be getting. I'm just going to set things down with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. So at this point, she goes in and starts setting my face, which I'm like, okay. At least we're getting some setting powder. And the powder that she used, I believe, is the MAC one. I think I've got it just here on my computer. From what I've had a look, I couldn't see any of the products, but from what I remember, the jar looked like the Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder. This says that it's meant to be like a mattifying formula, so I was like, okay, and I knew that was meant to be mattifying. So she goes in, she grabs a big fluffy brush, like something like this, and just like goes, just boop, boop, in, and just, I was like, girl, I have oily skin. That is not going to set my makeup and make it last for the entire day. Like, that is just, that's not what's going to happen here. Like, it is not going to last. There's no way. I'm just going to apply a little bit of nude liner to my waterline just to open it up, which is what I said to her, but didn't happen. Anyway, so I sit there and and she goes in, she uses MAC Fix Plus, which is fine. So, but when she goes and sprays it, I think about 3 drops get here and the rest of it's just all over me. Like, none of it got on my face like whatsoever. Mascara, we're using the Essence I Love Extreme Volume Curl Mascara. So none of it gets on my face whatsoever. So I'm like, great, good job. So I'm sitting there and she starts fanning it. I've obviously shut my eyes. She's fanning it. And while she's fanning it, she smacks me in the face with her fingers across my nose. And I'm like, oh, like obviously because I have my eyes shut, I wasn't expecting to get like smacked in the face. And like it wasn't like I'm getting slapped, but it wasn't like a touch on the face. Like she's fanning. So I get smacked in the face. So I was just like, oh. And she's like, oh, sorry. And I just kind of like, it's okay. Like, you've just slapped me in the face, but it's fine. And then goes, okay, are you ready? Are you like just so excited to look at it? And I'm just like, oh. Like, what am I going to say? Because I am such like a little bitch and I cannot tell people like what I think. Like, I can't. Like, I'm so like, oh, like, thank you, yes. Like, it's when you get a bad haircut and you look at it and you're like, what the fuck have you done with my hair? But I'm like, oh, that's fine, I love it, and I'll be a sucker and I'll come back the next time again because I'm too scared to hurt your feelings. I'll tell you what I really think. So, I'm sitting there and all my friends, like, since after telling them, after the first time, and like the ladies at work as well, they're like, look, if you're not happy with it, like, you just have to like, just man up and just say you're not happy with it. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying, the whole time I'm sitting there getting it done, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to have the balls to tell her that I fucking hate it. So I sit up, oh right, she applies my lipstick as well, which is fine. I don't see anything wrong with the way she applied it, so it was fine. She used a lip brush, so that was fine. Oh, another thing, when she applied the concealer, which the concealer, I can't remember. I think she just used it like a concealer, like out of the pot, and then concealer, which is just, that is cross-contamination to its finest again. But when she blended out with the brush afterwards, to make, because I said that I wanted it to kind of like fade out into like a wing kind of thing. The pictures that I showed her did that anyway. So she gets the brush and she goes like, say this is the foundation, say this is the concealer brush. She's gone like this and she's putting it, and she goes, look straight ahead, and she goes, and goes, like cuts it like that with the concealer, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you should have, like, before you apply, like, this is why you would apply the foundation, like, last, so then you could clean it up and do, like, a crystalline like this, but she's gone, like, so just adding to the like disastrous outcome, which I know is what I'm expecting. So anyway, she's saying to the end, she's like, oh my gosh, she's like so excited, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, what the hell am I gonna say to this lady? So I look at it and I am just like, I really like the lip color. That's all I could say. I had nothing else to say, and my mum always taught me, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, right? Like, I'm just, We're gonna apply some lashes. These are the Queen Bee lashes by Coco Lashes. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking in the mirror, and I just try to subtly, because like, I know I'm not going to go with her, right? Like, but I need to be able to then tell them why I'm not going with them. And all of the salon people, sorry, I'm just picking off some of the glue on this because I've left it making. All of the other ladies in the salon, while I was getting it done, are all saying, oh, it looks so great. They either have no idea how to apply makeup, they're delusional, or 3, trying to just make sure that I pay. By making me feel like I'm a weirdo by not thinking that this was up to standard. So I look at the makeup and I just start to try to critique it as nicely as I can. I say. For starters, I was like, oh, you know, I'm just not really sure about the color of the foundation. And then she goes, oh, but you know, if you're gonna have a tan on the day, then it's good to kind of see the look all together, like with a bit of darkness, so you can kind of see what it will look like when you've got a tan. That is just the worst excuse for having the lack of foundation shades that you have, in my opinion. Like, that is not what you do. You match it to the foundation, you match it to the skin that they are in. Like, you don't know, like, you don't know, I might change my mind. Like, you match it to what they're coming in as. You don't match it to them possibly, maybe having a fake tan on the day, which again, you wouldn't even know the color of the fake tan. Like, you can't just like say, this is what your fake tan color is going to be. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. So I say to her as well, my skin is rather shiny. And she says, oh, you know, because we went in with that highlighter. The highlighter just makes it shiny. I was like, oh yes, I know MAC Soft and Gentle, that's what you use, right? She's like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I use it all the time. Like, that's my highlight that I use every day. And she's like, oh, okay. And I said to her, I was like, it was a rather large brush that you used. And she's like, oh, but the picture that you showed me had a really big, glowy, highlighted cheek. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. No, it didn't. Had strategic... I can't even. I'm just applying some glue to my lashes. And so the skin is looking orange, but it's also looking really muddy and dirty, probably because she used such manky, dirty old brushes on my face. And applying the contour shade, grey contour shade, up on my cheekbones has made the highlight turn this muddy, gross grey colour, which it's like another just, ugh. My forehead is looking terrible because it's all shiny with the Soft and Gentle, and she applied no blush to my skin, so I'm kind of like this weird muddy brown color, but also looking really washed out at the same time. I was like, I don't know how she achieved that, but that's what I'm looking like. I'm just going to go in with a mixture of the Becca Champagne Pop and Moonstone. I'm going to go in with a little bit more bronzer. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. So I did say to her, and I did, which I hate doing, I hate doing this. I never tell anyone that I do YouTube or that I have an Instagram page because, like, I don't know, because I have a small following. Like, I'm a small YouTuber. I'm not some like massive, crazy, like super talented, you know, YouTuber that has millions of followers. So I kind of feel like it's a bit like, oh yeah, I kind of do YouTube, but it's just a hobby. Like, I have to kind of explain why I do it, and like, I don't know, I'm not ashamed to, like, I'm happy with my 2,000 subscribers. Like, I think that that's really amazing. But I know when people think of like a YouTuber, they instantly think of someone who's got like thousands and thousands of subscribers, which isn't me. So I'm always a bit hesitant to show people my work, whether that be on my Instagram. My fiance is always the one who is out telling people, or I'm just like, shut up, like, don't tell everyone. I just had to kind of balls up and just show them the looks that I do, so they had an idea of what I was coming with, so why I wasn't really happy with what I was given. But I didn't actually know if they could really see the difference. The lady was just like, oh, like, is that you? And I was like, yes, bitch, it's me. I know I look different in person than when I've got all these studio lights on and whatever. So to be honest, I didn't really know where to go from that. I was a bit like, I don't know, like offended almost. And she was like, oh, is that really you? I was like, oh, yes, it is me. So I wanted to show them that I do know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I'm not just like, you know, the everyday person who never wears makeup. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. So I kind of wanted to show her that, because I knew that I was going to have to then tell her, like, no, we don't want to go with you for the wedding. Like, 100%, like, that's not happening. So I wanted to have some kind of like reasoning why, right? Whoa, what is going on with these lashes? So anyway, after critiquing the makeup, and obviously, I mean, I didn't say I love it, but I did say thank you. And she said, look, if there's anything that we want, we can change it later. If there's any products that you would like to bring that I can use on the day, like, let me know. And I was like, I shouldn't have to bring in, like, my products. If I'm, you know, I shouldn't have to bring in my products. But anyway, I was like, oh, yep, okay, sure, I'll let you know. I sit down and I'm waiting while my friend finishes getting her hair done. The hair, by the way, is looking absolutely insane, like so good. Like I was just like, man, like totally what I was after for the bridesmaids. Like my friend has like beautiful hair. She did like curls all the way through and like this really detailed, intricate like braid at the back to kind of pull it in like a half up, half down kind of look. Fishtail, like just beautiful, really boho, really textured, like gorgeous. So I was really excited to go get my hair done for sure. But in the meantime, my other friend is going and getting her makeup done. And she doesn't do like makeup that I do, but she really likes watching YouTube and makeup videos. She's Chinese, and when she does her makeup, she does these really beautiful like little winged liner. She just looks gorgeous, and she does a really good job of her own makeup. She knows what kind of happens. She's not like a completely new, like she's not like a noob at like makeup application by any means. Oh my gosh, this glue, like this glue is just like off. These lashes are not sticking. Didn't even stick. Fuck it. No lashes today, guys. More mascara. So like I said, I can see my friend getting her makeup done, and I look over and I'm just like, she is using the same makeup brush that she used on me for her, with pretty much the exact same foundation color. She's of Chinese heritage. I am Caucasian, pale AF, and she's got like tan olive complexion, and we got the same foundation shade. And I can see her looking over at me with a face of just like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just like, help me. So it gets to the end of the night, and you know, we've been there for a while. It's like nearly 10 o'clock by this time. And keeping in mind, we've got to now drive back down to Sydney, which is about an hour and a half drive again back home. So we get finished up, and they're all there, and like, oh, how did you like it? And I was like, I basically just had to kind of say, like, be like, you know, because I like do my own makeup and things, I think I have like just like a really particular way to do it. So I'm not sure, I'm still undecided if I'll do it myself on the day. I'm thinking that I will, but you know, thank you so much. And she's like, yeah, not a problem. Like, let me know. But then kind of just was like, because I can use all your products on the day if you want me to as well. And I'm just like, I'm trying to tell you that I don't want you to do my makeup. Like, I'm trying to tell you this. Like, just let me tell you. It comes to paying $185. It costs for the trial hair and makeup. And then it cost my friends each $150 for the trial hair and makeup. $150 for the trial. Like, that is so expensive. I don't know how much the hair portion costs. I don't know how much the makeup portion costs, but I would not have, like, I can't believe that I paid that amount of money for the makeup that I received, which was like subpar. Like, it was just beyond anything that I've experienced or seen done before. Like, absolutely just yuck. Like, not even mentioning the actual application and the final result of the makeup, but the whole experience and the absolute unhygienic application of it was enough to just make me just never want to go back there again. So we left the salon, and the first thing I do when I get in the car is rip off those fucking ridiculously spider, huge, ginormous lashes off of my eyes, and I say, okay guys, so we're all happy with the hair. I fucking hate the makeup, and the girls completely agreed. We were just like, the hair is amazing, the makeup is awful. So anyway guys, that is where we're at. We had that done on Thursday. It is now the following like Sunday. I'm worried because we paid a deposit, so I'm worried that they're gonna say, you paid the deposit, you either forego the deposit and we have to pay the entire amount that we were going to pay for hair and makeup just for the hair. I'm kind of in this limbo point at the moment. The email, I'm going to send it actually this afternoon after I film this video, so I'm actually getting like hot and sweaty just like thinking about it. So I'm going to send it to them and we'll go from there. If she does come back and starts saying, you know, like, sorry, like, you've paid for it already, if she does say that, then I will bring out the big guns and I will go to town telling her all of the unhygienic health practices that her employee practices that are just like unacceptable in any kind of makeup industry. Like, Like, they could be so liable for anyone that comes in with any kind of like eye infection, like anything. Like the people get like staph infections from people using unhygienic practices in their salons, whether that be nail salons or, you know, hair and makeup. So we will see. That's where I'm at the moment. If anyone has any suggestions about what I should say, especially if you're Australian and know a little bit more about the health safety regulations when it comes to makeup artistry, please let me know, because I would like that in my arsenal if it comes to that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little chatty get ready with me. I have done some further research. I found another makeup artist up in the area where we are getting married. Her Instagram looks completely beautiful. She just does makeup and it looks stunning. I still don't know if I am willing to give over the baton to have someone else do my makeup, but I'm all for going and getting another trial done. So I am going to try and book in with her for a trial. I know that she has the wedding date available, so that's the main thing at the minute. But yeah, I'm going to go and try and book in a trial with her, with me and maybe another 2 bridesmaids, just so we can have a look and see how she goes. But fingers crossed this email goes well and they just let me keep the hair lady and we just go along with the hair. Worst case scenario is that the girls will come over to mine a couple of times and we will do a run through of the makeup. I have plenty of makeup here, so I'm sure we could create a really beautiful look, and we can all sit down and practice and learn together. That'll be worst case scenario, that we all end up doing our makeup on the day, no makeup artist, but just with the hair lady. So we'll see. I'll see how the outcome of this email goes. Wish me luck. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. Let me know down below if you like more of these like little chatty videos. Let me know if you want to hear anything more about the wedding. I can totally share that with you. Just let me know down below if you're interested. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye guys.